Welcome back to our channel, where we provide updates and undisclosed narratives on Catherine, Princess of Wales, and her royal family. We provide you with the exciting news, Prince William's final move against King Charles's wish to make peace with Prince Harry. Prince William. The Prince of Wales is said to have drawn a line in the sand for Harry and Meghan in the middle of King's plea for peace, according to a source with intimate knowledge. All of a sudden, the royal family is in disarray, and there is a great deal of conflict between Prince William and his father's desire. According to the insider, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle would never cease selling information to the media, even if King Charles has struck a contract with Harry that will give him the greatest bargain in the next week. It has been claimed that Prince William has delivered a last stern ultimatum to his estranged brother, Prince Harry, and his bride, Meghan Markle. This step has the potential to permanently sever the shattered relationships that have been a part of the House of Windsor. William has made it abundantly clear, according to an insider with close ties to the Prince of Wales's circle, that any further monetization of royal secrets or public attacks on the monarchy will result in their complete and irreversible exile from the family, including the possibility of being banned from returning to the United Kingdom. This information was provided by an insider. It is well known that King Charles III, who is now undergoing treatment for cancer, has expressed a sincere wish for reconciliation. This drastic hardening of William's attitude comes at a moment that is very delicate, since it is recognized that King Charles III has stated this desire. A request that has apparently left the Prince of Wales shocked and emotionally disturbed has been made by the king, who is said to have urged his heir to assist in mediating any peace negotiations. Prince Harry is slated to go to the United Kingdom in September for the Well Child Charity Awards, an occasion that is now plagued with unprecedented levels of family friction. The issue is expected to approach a boiling point in the coming weeks. An image of a monarchy that is at a crucial crossroads is painted by the murmurs that come from inside the royal household, despite the fact that Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace continue to maintain their usual quiet on things pertaining to private family concerns. On one side, there is a king who is struggling with his health and a father who is yearning for his kid. On the other hand, there is a future king who is steadfast in his commitment to safeguard the organization that he will one day head. He is unwavering in his conviction that the time for forgiveness has come to an end, and that the time for decisive action has arrived. As a result of this conflict between duty and desire, as well as between father love and fraternal treachery, the scene has been set for what may be the last chapter in the historical narrative of the Windsor family. A demand that is not open to negotiation. The Prince's warning. Sources claim that the fundamental cause of the current issue is Prince William's strong and unwavering conviction that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle pose a continuous and existential danger to the security and prestige of the British monarchy. This view lies at the heart of the current conflict. The Prince of Wales is believed to have reached his breaking point, meaning that he has come to the conclusion that his brother's acts are not the result of naive mistakes, but rather are part of a premeditated strategy to benefit from their royal ties by selling the family's secrets. They have reached this conclusion. The message from William was delivered through intermediaries and was crystal clear, stated a person with first-hand knowledge who was aware of the negotiations. This is the ultimatum. Put an end to the leaks, the books, the interviews, and the never-ending flood of negative information. Discontinue any and all acts that are detrimental to the family and the institution. If they do not change their mind, the door will be permanently shut. For the foreseeable future, there will be no more financial assistance, no more informal olive branches, and no way to return to the United Kingdom in any official or semi-official role. It may be considered, in all intents and purposes, a declaration of perpetual exile. This purported warning is not the result of a sudden outburst, but rather the culmination of years of animosity that has been building up. It has been stated that William, who was formerly Harry's closest ally, has watched in disbelief as the Sussexes have launched a series of high-profile assaults on the family that they have left behind. From the shocking interview that took place on Oprah Winfrey in 2021, in which they accused an unnamed member of their family of being racist, to the 6-part documentary series that was broadcast on Netflix and painted a bleak picture of their time spent in the firm, and finally to Harry's tell-all memoir, Spare, which revealed deeply personal and embarrassing details about his father and brother, the Prince of Wales, believes that a line has been repeatedly and intentionally crossed. Following that, the source stated, "The institution is of the utmost importance to William. The protection of it is something that he considers to be his life's mission, much as his grandmother did. Not only does he consider the acts of Harry and Meghan to be a personal betrayal, but he also considers them to be a direct attack on the legacy of Queen Elizabeth II and the future of his own reign. He believes that Harry has used his knowledge of the inner workings of the family as a weapon for the purpose of gaining financial gain and having his own personal validation, and he is determined to put an end to this. William is convinced that his brother is beyond salvation, and the fact that the supposed ultimatum is final bolsters his belief in this belief. According to reports, Charles is especially enraged by Meghan's ongoing public criticism, which he considers to be a subtle and persistent attempt to undermine the royal family. He is of the opinion that for as long as the couple needs to earn cash and retain their celebrity position in the United States, the monarchy will continue to be their most valued source of income and hence their most susceptible asset to abuse. One father's wish, one son's fury. The difference between Charles and William. According to reports, the king and his successor are having a fundamental dispute which is making an already dangerous situation much more explosive. It is stated that King Charles is motivated by a more personal and parental inclination, in contrast to William, who has moved toward a posture of containment and consequence. It has been stated that the king is eager to repair the split with his younger son before it is too late, since he is now dealing with a critical health problem. Charlie is a parent first and foremost. According to a source inside the palace, he is currently battling cancer, and it has helped him put things into perspective. He has a thing for Harry, and all he wants to do is see him. Because he wanted to assist in preparing the way for a meeting with Harry while he was in the United Kingdom, he begged William to consider becoming the bigger man. Nevertheless, this suggestion was not met with favorable responses. According to reports, the Prince of Wales, upon hearing the idea, was furious and shocked. According to his point of view, any attempt at reconciliation that did not include a full-blown apology and a clear demonstration of a change in conduct on the part of the Sussexes would not only constitute a personal surrender, but also a strategic error on the part of the monarchy. In his opinion, this would serve to reinforce Harry's harmful narrative and send a message to the rest of the world that there are no repercussions for assaulting the Crown institution. There has been a lot of speculation about a summit between Charles and Harry in September, but this internal struggle has placed a lengthy shadow over it. Despite the fact that the concept of a father and son reconnecting under such trying circumstances is a compelling tale, royal experts are very doubtful about the possibility, pointing out the enormous logistical and emotional obstacles that would need to be overcome. One of the most renowned royal commentators located in the United States, Kinsey Schofield, had serious reservations about the meeting taking place. "When I tell you that I don't think that this royal reunion is actually happening, I feel like I'm going to rain on your parade," she said in a recent interview. "I feel like I'm going to mess with your parade." Schofield believes that the king will be primarily concerned with privately grieving the anniversary of Queen Elizabeth II's death, which coincides with Harry's visit. This is because the anniversary comes around the same time. In his explanation, Schofield said, "I do not believe that he would risk damaging her memory by having this secret meeting with Prince Harry, because that would be all the headlines would be about, and it would dismiss the Queen's legacy. I believe that he is aware of the fact that the brand associated with Harry and Meghan has become quite toxic. In addition, he would have a detrimental impact on what may be a time for all of us to take a step back and reflect on what we are losing in Queen Elizabeth. The chasm of trust that cannot be bridged. It is a complete and utter loss of trust that is the fundamental problem that is preventing any genuine reconciliation from occurring, and it is the driving force behind William's uncompromising approach. The members of the royal family, and William in particular, are of the opinion that every private discussion or moment of vulnerability may potentially serve as fodder for the next media initiative that the Sussexes will undertake. As the most conclusive evidence, Schofield considers Harry's own remarks in Spare to be convincing. Prince Harry has written about the experience of being in the same room as Queen Elizabeth's body and the closeness that comes with that. According to her argument, we should have never heard about Prince Harry discussing being alone with Queen Elizabeth's body. That is something that is sacred. Harry makes money off of the stories about his family. It is mostly negative information about his family that he uses to generate revenue. In addition, Prince Harry continues to be a liability for the royal family, which is necessary if they want to safeguard both their own interests and the future of the monarchy. This so-called trust deficit is not simply about previous transgressions. Rather, it is about conduct that continues to occur. The recent interviews that Meghan has given, in which she revisits her imagined sufferings as a working royal over items as petty as being compelled to wear pantyhose, are considered by the palace as proof that the pair has no intention of moving on from their relationship. It is important to monitor what you say if you are a family that is ready to have a reconciliation. According to Schofield, you only communicate in a positive manner. When you see Meghan Markle speak about her relatively short time as a working member of the British royal family, you can see that there is still a lot of resentment in her voice. At this point, I do not believe that this reunion will take place. According to William's point of view, extending an olive branch at this time would be a kind of reward for this action. The legitimacy that Harry so desperately seeks would be bestowed upon him, and he would not be required to accept any responsibility for the suffering they have caused. The allegations of racism, which were bolstered by the publication of Endgame by Omid Scobie, which referred to King Charles and the Princess of Wales as the royal racists, are still prominently present in the atmosphere. There was a terrible betrayal that William experienced when he saw his wife being drawn into the dispute when she was discreetly facing her own major health concerns. This is something that William is not likely to forgive. Unless Prince Harry acknowledges that his previous behavior is unacceptable and apologizes to the family, it gives Harry credibility if the family simply shows up to support him, Schofield said. Under these circumstances, Harry becomes more credible. The situation with the health crisis and the lack of communication. In a surprising turn of events, the severity of the health problems that the King and the Princess of Wales have been experiencing has only helped to deepen the gap. The fact that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle apparently found out about Kate's cancer diagnosis at the same time as the whole public via her broadcast statement is a fact that speaks eloquently about their present place within the family. That Catherine was in such a critical condition was completely unknown to them. Schofield acknowledged that they obtained the information along with the rest of us. This communication blackout is a deliberate strategy of protection, the speaker said. That's how much distance they feel between each other. Harry has been placed firmly on the outside of the family, which has circled the wagons, and is in a vulnerable and raw state. Any information that is shared, regardless of how sensitive it may be, is a source of concern, since it might be compromised. A terrifying concern is raised as a result of this. If the king's health were to suddenly take a turn for the worst, would Harry even be told in a timely manner? Schofield pondered, I don't know if Prince Harry would know, and he was right. It is possible that he would do what he did the previous time and get on a plane and go to that location, but I believe that in order to preserve the tranquility of the monarch, they would be reluctant to do so. Additionally, the idea that Harry's contacts with his father are often transactional contributes to the gap that exists between them. Schofield recalled a reported incident where the late Queen Elizabeth had to implore Charles to take Harry's calls, to which the then Prince of Wales allegedly replied, "I'm not an ATM." This sentiment persists, with Charles reportedly feeling that Harry always wants something from him. Even in a recent BBC interview, Harry suggested his father could pick up the phone and solve his security issues in the UK, a move seen by the palace as publicly shifting blame onto the ailing monarch. Schofield said, "I just don't know if the king has the energy to deal with Harry, knowing that he is still being treated for cancer at least 3 times a month." The monarch is still receiving treatment for cancer. Opinions of the people and the obligation of a future king. A profound awareness of the fact that this very personal drama is being played out on a public stage is possessed by the royal family. There is still a significant gap in public opinion. Many people in the United Kingdom, especially those of the older age, have sympathy with William's situation, since they see him as the stoic defender of a long-standing institution that is now being attacked. They believe that Harry and Meghan are acting in a manner that is harmful to the memory of the late Queen and is self-serving. On the other hand, a sizable segment of the general public, particularly younger people, are more sympathetic to the Sussexes' story of an antiquated and stuffy institution that failed to provide support for them. They consider William to be unyielding and harsh. The monarch King Charles is caught in the midst. The fact that he wants to see his kid is something that any parent can relate to, and there is considerable public compassion for the difficult situation he is in. On the other hand, it is generally acknowledged that the monarchy is not representative of the average family. It is a governmental institution, and the continuation of its existence is contingent upon the maintenance of discipline, unity, and a consistent public image. The weight of this responsibility lies on Prince William's shoulders to a greater extent than any other. The claimed ultimatum that he has issued is not only the behavior of a sibling who is enraged, rather it is the calculated strategic move of a future emperor. When it comes to navigating the tumultuous seas of the 21st century, he is well aware that his reign will be evaluated based on his capacity to maintain order and steer the monarchy through these challenges. In order to do this, he is of the opinion that he must remove what he considers to be a toxic element that poses a risk of sinking it. Kinsey Schofield said that if King Charles's ultimate objective is to protect the future of the monarchy and to protect William's reign, then he must continue to distance himself from Prince Harry, who has proven to be very destructive. As a result, King Charles must continue to keep his distance from Prince Harry, whether it's an apology or annihilation. The last standoff. It is becoming more apparent that the House of Windsor is now in a condition of suspended animation as September draws near. The road to reconciliation looks to be a single narrow road, and the first step on this road is to apologize. It is impossible for Prince William's camp to go ahead unless there is both a public and private recognition of the harm that has been inflicted, as well as a pledge to stop any and all assaults in the future. It is becoming more unlikely that a family reunion would take place during the Invictus Games in 2027, which is a possibility that has been brought up by several individuals as a long-term potential. According to some with knowledge of the situation, Harry's desire for a reconciliation may be partially driven by the understanding that the absence of the royal family at his flagship event would be a severe blow to the reputation of the event, particularly in light of allegations of management conflicts inside the charity. For the time being, everyone's attention is focused on London. The Well Child Awards will serve as a litmus test for Prince Harry's visit to the organization. It is unknown if he would express his regret in a public or private manner. If the king decides to go against the advice of his successor, would he still go ahead and organize a secret meeting? Is it possible that Harry's visit will be met with nothing more than a deafening quiet from the palaces, a stillness that would signify that William's reported ultimatum has been implemented in its entirety? The story of the two princes who were once drawn together by their shared sorrow and fraternity has deteriorated into a chilly battle of attrition. One of the brothers has decided to live a life of public disclosure in California, while the other brother has decided to live a life of responsible silence in Windsor. As far as we can tell, Prince William has come to the conclusion that these two universes cannot coexist. By drawing his line in the sand, he may have sealed the destiny of the modern monarchy, forcing a decision between the love of a parent and the survival of the crown. He has drawn his line in the sand. The next weeks will shed light on whether or not there is any room for retreat or whether or not the bridges have been permanently destroyed. Thank you for watching the video. Please let us know your thoughts and goodbye for now.